Good morning, this is Jack for Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 5th of June. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only, and I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own chance. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Morning, Doug. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com and is published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. Okay, what's happening here? Well, we're not seeing much of a retracement so far. We've got plenty of negative divergence. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed on ES and NQ and RTY and YM, and we've actually now got possible 60-minute sell signals brewing on DAX and ESTX. Now, generally speaking, we'd be seeing more of a retracement at this stage, but obviously there's a fair amount of news happening, and we'll come to some interesting effects that's having on various markets, but at the moment we're just going sideways on ES. Now, is it possible to just go sideways into these signals, making the possible near miss targets? Yes, it is, and I would say that yesterday's stats leaned bearish, but today's lean bullish, tomorrow's lean bearish, Monday's lean bullish, and then Tuesday and Wednesday lean bearish, and that is the bearish window. So we'll see how that goes today, but for the moment we've just gone sideways since these signals have fixed, and I'm wondering about that. So looking at ES, bigger picture, we got possible little double top here maybe, and a possible larger double top, but I'm not really expecting these to play out at the moment. We're getting pretty close to the retest of this high here, which we haven't quite made, I don't think. ES, the same. Let's have a quick look at those on the 5-minute charts. And right, SPX has already made the retest of this high, of course, but the retest would be at 6,775 on ES, and we haven't quite made that yet. And on NQ, I've got that at 21,860, and we come very close to that. We haven't made that yet either. So we will see, but I am wondering about a larger retracement brewing here. But there is one thing, there is a big factor here I'm wondering about, and that is what looks like the current failure of the Big Beautiful Bill, which is looking as though it might have a real struggle getting through. That's actually a good thing. Well, I'm a fiscal conservative by nature, but you know, that would I don't think I think a large increase in the debt of the US is a good thing at all. I think it brings a prospect of some serious financial trouble later, considerably forward, and I think it'll cause a lot of trouble in the bond markets. But we'll come to that. Okay, looking at the bigger picture charts, we've got a weak RSI 5 sell signal fixed on the hourly chart. On the 15-minute chart, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed. On Qs, we got the same. So we've got a fair amount of not enormously strong but significant negative divergence here. We don't have any sell signals on Dia. I am wondering about if we look at the ES chart, we've got the daily middle band down about 100 handles from where we were yesterday. That's our potential window there, but I am wondering if we're actually just going to see a test of the weekly pivot. I'm not really expecting to see much downside on this, but I am thinking continuation of consolidation until Wednesday next week seems likely. Having said that, these daily stats, they tend to deliver quite a lot, but they are actually only a guide. We will see. All right, let's have a look at the IWM chart. And on the IWM chart, we've got on the hourly chart, we've still got an RSI 14 buy signal, but that's now reached the possible near miss target. On the 15-minute chart, no current negative divergence, and obviously we're getting pretty close to this retest of the high. I'm not seeing this retest of the high as particularly significant, except for this, which is the inverse 10 shoulders forming on IWM, and it is nice. And if we do see a bull run after the end of this window, then this is the main pattern that I would be looking at, and obviously that would be helped by strength on bonds, but again we will come to that. All right, DAX retesting the high again. We've still got negative divergence, possible weak RSI 14 sell signal brewing on the daily, RSI 5 sell signal fixed on the daily, and on Nikkei, not really looking, not seeing this as an IHS, it's far too large. But I am thinking that if IWM goes back and retests the high, we may well go back and retest the high here too. So we shall see. All right, great. Okay, let's have a look at US dollar. All right, DX is pretty close to the lows here, and I'm leaning towards this retesting this low here in the 98.4 area, making the head and shoulder target. But I'm also leaning towards seeing a retest of this low here at about the 97.7 area. Looking at ZB, now this is very because we had a really nice looking falling wedge here. I was saying might be a bear flag, and then it expanded and hit resistance yesterday. And I was talking about this being a possible inverted head and shoulder neckline, and I was thinking we'd go retrace and form a right shoulder, and instead we've broken up. Now, these do break up. These bear flag setups do break up 30% of the time. This could be a bearish overthrow still, but the other thing, as I mentioned, of course, the big beautiful bill may be failing. That's good for bonds. No question about it. This may actually be a legit breakup. And I was saying that if we saw a retracement here, we could form an IHS right shoulder, which we haven't done. But I am thinking the reversal pattern, of course, could be this flag. So we could be breaking up here with a target, I think, which would be up in about the 118.20 area. And that would actually be a fairly rational reaction to a failure of the big beautiful bill, which looks as though it might actually be dead in the water. So we've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing here, but I'm watching, sell signal brewing here, but I am watching this with great interest. I'm thinking we might see a significant rally here because of the likely failure of this bill. We'll see. It might be too early to call the call the mortician on this particular one, but to be honest, it would be a good thing if it did fail. So watching that with interest. Looking at ZN, we already had a double bottom breaking up here. We've also got a possible channel, which I'm watching resistance on, but if we go and make the target here, I've got that in about the 111.28.30 area. So looking at the CL chart, CL, we've got we're in an inflection point here, and I'm wondering whether we're going to see a breakup over this trend line here at 64.1. We could see that. And I am wondering whether we might run up into this this trend line here. We still, overall, this still looks like a bear flag. HO still looks like a bear flag. The obvious move here on HO would be down. We didn't touch the support trend line, but I am wondering if we might see a retest this high or maybe a little higher. Looking at RBOB, we could be forming a larger flag here. We don't have an obvious reversal pattern pointing down yet, and we've got a weak 60-minute buy signal fix. So watching that with interest, and we're holding the weekly pivot and the monthly pivot at the moment. NG, we got a 60-minute sell signal fix, and that's delivered nothing so far. Hasn't failed yet, but where I am wondering whether we might be forming an ABC flag, possibly get a move up to 4.3. We shall see. GC is making a higher high here. Obviously, we've got a flag. It's broken up with a bull flag. It's broken up with a target at a retest of the all-time high, and I'm thinking that may well deliver. And will likely deliver. So looking for more upside here. Silver, which I've been hoping would actually take off and do something interesting, because so far in this big move up on gold, we've not really seen a lot from silver. This has seen a very nice little breakup. I was talking about possible resistance trend lines in the 36 area and in the 38 area, and we're testing the 36 one now. Very pleased to see this on silver. On palladium, we have gone a little higher. No current divergence, leaning towards the upside. And platinum, where we had a bull flag, that's broken up and made the target. Now, I was saying this was significant because this little move here broke up over the 2-year compression range that platinum has been in. So I'm hoping we might see an extended breakup, and at the moment we're seeing an extended breakup. HG, my trend line resistance here, it's gone through. I was leaning towards seeing a retest this high here at 4.98. We've done that. Not really seeing this as a double bottom, and I'm thinking this could potentially run higher. Looking at Euro, we've got almost a retest this high here. I'm thinking this goes higher and DX goes a bit lower. GBP USD, retesting the prior high. USD JPY, no current divergence. Not particularly clear what overall pattern we've got here. USD CAD, we've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing, but may well go down. Normally see this on the second low. You normally at least see this level at 30 tested, which we haven't seen yet. Australian dollar just trending sideways at the moment. NZUSD making a marginal new high. Not really seeing much reason to think this would be a double top. KC, the falling wedge has now broken up, and I'm looking for a reversal pattern. Not seeing one yet. That might include a retest of the low, but this is obviously a nice bullish break. This could, of course, just be a repositioning of the resistance trend line. I'll be watching that, but at the moment I'm treating this as a decent looking breakup. SB, we've got a nice looking little potential channel here, and we're going lower. Obviously we do have I've got some reasons to think that we might go up on SB, but we do also have a big head and shoulders breaking down with the target a long way below, so I'm wary about that. On CC, we're still in an inflection point here. We've got a head and shoulders. It's broken down with a target in the 76.25 area, and we're seeing whether or not that is going to deliver. If it's going to fail, then a break over the right shoulder high, which is in the 96.25 area, would be the signal that that was going. Looking at CT, possible little double bottom here on lumber. Week 6-minute sell signal reached the possible near miss target without a break below the weekly pivot or the monthly pivot. This has really been doing very little lately and is continuing to. On wheat, one's still wondering about a possible IHS forming here on corn, possible double bottom here on soy. Wondering about, well, we've got a possible trend line here. It's not very strong. If we were to go and hit that next, I've got this support in about the 1025 area. On ZL, I'm wondering about a bull flag forming here, but we could have a head and shoulders breaking down here, but it's not a particularly certain setup. We've got a 6-minute buy signal, so that's reached the possible near miss setup. On live cattle, I've been leaning towards seeing a lower low here before we see a higher high. It's testing that and maybe heading back there directly. On lean hogs, I'm wondering whether this original wedge might be expanding. If so, I've got resistance up in about the 108.5 area. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions. No questions? All right. The big beautiful bill failing is a big issue here, and the stats for today lean bullish. I'm not thinking we make a lot of headway. That would be pretty unusual with this much negative divergence, but obviously the big beautiful bill does introduce a significant wild card here. I would be delighted to see it, Val, I would say. I'm a fiscal conservative. So as quite a few of the Republicans still are, it appears, looking at the various boards around and the reaction to the possible failure. I think a large increase in debt for the US here is just crazy. So I think it may fail for that reason. I think a lot of the Republicans in the House are finding their courage to oppose it now, so we will see. I would like to see it fail. But we will see how that goes. It's probably not going to fail in a day, but keeping an open mind here. But certainly 60-minute sell signals and negative divergence across the board leans bearish here. I'm not expecting to see a big move to the upside. We shall see. All right, great. In that case, that's a wrap. Everyone take care. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure plans for tomorrow. Sorry, it's just the end of term, so I'm collecting various kids' stuff from universities and that sort of stuff. So I don't think I will. I'm sure I won't be here for the open, but I may well be back in time to do a intraday webinar a couple of hours later, so I'm expecting to do that tomorrow. If I might not manage to do that, but I probably will, so we'll see. Everyone have a great weekend if I can't do that, and we'll see how it goes today. All right, take care.